Good afternoon and happy New Year, and thank all of you for joining me for my first presser of the year 2025. As many of you know, we've been having some challenges with our award-winning SGTV. So it has been down for quite a number of days. There is a part that is required. I know nothing about it, just know that we have to have it. And so you can still catch us on our other streaming platforms in the meantime, which are up and running. But SGTV is down until further notice. For those who thank you for joining us on our live stream, and we are glad that you are joining us today. If you have questions you would like to ask, feel free to put those questions in the comments on Facebook at Mayor Johnson SAV or Instagram at Mayor Johnson SAV, and we will field those after our media partners have had the opportunity to ask their questions. This week, we will continue to mourn the loss but celebrate the life of President Jimmy Carter, a man of profound faith and unwavering compassion. President Carter dedicated his life to the service of humanity as the longest living president in our history, from his humble beginnings in Plains, Georgia, to the state governor's house, to the White House. He has exemplified leadership rooted in integrity, humility, and a relentless pursuit of justice. As the 39th President of the United States, he championed human rights, brokered peace with the Camp David Accords, and emphasized the need for environmental stewardship. His post-presidency was a testament to the enduring spirit of that leadership is not a position, it is action. He has built homes with Habitat for Humanity. He fought disease through the Carter Center, and he advocated for democracy and peace worldwide. President Carter's legacy will forever inspire generations to lead with kindness, work for peace, and believe in the transformative power of a life dedicated to serving others. And we ask that his memory continue to be a blessing. I'm just returning from New York, where it was bitterly cold, 18 degrees. But I joined the Chatham Area Transit Authority Board of Directors and staff, county officials, and partnering agencies in Merrimack, New York, which is just above New York City, to christen the Susie King Taylor II and the Juliet Gordon Low II ferries. This was quite exciting, although it was cold. These new 65-foot hybrid ferries constructed by Director Shipyards will be equipped with state-of-the-art technology that promises both eco-friendly and efficient operations. These new hybrid vessels will be powered by Bay Systems. It's an advanced electric propulsion system that features Ultrajet 305 water jets and permanent magnet traction motors. This means a smoother, quieter ride for passengers while contributing to a greener future. For us, this is the first two hybrid ferries in the nation. They were constructed in New York, and we are looking forward to them finishing their trials, being placed on a barge, and arriving in Savannah relatively soon. And we will have a celebration to welcome these two amazing vessels to our city. The Savannah Bells Ferry, as you know, services City Hall Landing, the Savannah International Trade and Convention Center, and the Waving Girl Landing. So that being said, it has been cold lately, and most of our country has been blasted with some extreme winter weather over the last few days. And so here in Savannah, as you should know, it has been cold. Not as cold as it was in New York. And Joshua, if you help me on that, if you help on that computer, Josh. It looks like we are in for several more days of low temperatures. Our partners at the Chatham-Savannah Authority for the Homeless and Union Mission have been hard at work opening spaces for our unhoused neighbors during the coldest days. As temperatures reach freezing again this week, they will be opening beds. The Homeless Authority also has a limited supply of cold weather gear, including below freezing sleeping bags ready for distribution. That gear is available at 761 Wheaton Street or through one of the organization's outreach teams. If you are in need of space, a sleeping bag, or a coat, or if you know someone who has or needs, please reach out to the Homeless Authority at 912-790-3400 as soon as possible. They need your help. Also, if you're housed and comfortable and you have extra winter coats, wool socks, beanies, hats, gloves, or extreme cold winter sleeping bags in your closet at home. This is a great time to consider donating those items to the Homeless Authority or one of our many community partners. That piece of clothing or sleeping bag that is not needed by you right now could go a long way to keeping folks in our community warm over the next week. If the National Weather Service issues a cold weather advisory, meaning sustained temperatures that will reach 20 degrees or below, the city will open additional warming centers for the community. The excellent staff of the Office of Communications will issue detailed information to the public and media if the city activates additional warming centers this month. Shameless self-promotion, shameless. But we also recommend that residents winterize their water pipes ahead of these low temperatures. On evenings when the temperature is forecasted to reach freezing, it's a good practice to let your faucets drip overnight. Running water, moving water does not freeze, so just a simple drip, and that keeps the pipes from becoming frozen. Open your cupboards and vanities too. That will help also to keep your pipes warm. Close and drain any outdoor faucets and use faucet covers to protect them. If you can, insulate all pipes. This is the most effective way to prevent freezing and bursting water pipes. You can use caulk to seal cracks around pipes and in your walls, both inside and outside your home, to help insulate. And then please prepare yourself. Minimize time outdoors if you can while temperatures are below freezing. Check in on our elderly and vulnerable family members and friends, and of course, take care of those fur babies. And cover your citrus plants. Don't worry about the azaleas and roses. They are hardly bothered, and they will be fine. I recommend that everyone pays attention to the lows over the next week as this cold weather sticks around for a while. We certainly extend our thoughts because although we'll be cold, some folks in the state will actually might have real blizzard conditions, and they're preparing for it. And you know how Georgia is with snow. We don't do snow and sleet and ice real well. So everybody please be safe. I'm also excited to announce this afternoon, that the city's municipal archives is now accepting proposals for the 2025 Hungry for History Student Showcase. The Hungry for History lecture series has been an incredible initiative for our community. These lectures have provided a great understanding of the history that has shaped our communities. They are an invaluable part of some of the great work of our municipal archives and the work that they are doing in furthering the understanding and telling of history. The 2025 Hungry for History Student Showcase is an opportunity for Savannah area college students to share their Savannah or Georgia-related history research with the public and gain valuable speaking experience. The event is open to all college and university students living and attending school in the vicinity of Savannah which includes the Savannah State University, Savannah College of Art and Design, Savannah Tech, and others. And also students that live in the area but attending online programs. Interested students can submit proposals at savannahga.gov, savannahga.gov. Proposals will be accepted through February the 14th at 5:00 p.m. Students will be notified of the status of their proposals no later than March the 14th. If you have questions about the program, please email the Municipal Archives staff at archives@savannahga.gov, archives@savannahga.gov. And so tomorrow, January 10th, is our first City Council meeting of the second year of the 140th administration of the City of Savannah. We'll have a power-packed day. Start the day with an 11 a.m. workshop. Staff will give a tourism compliance update on short-term vacation rentals, walking tours, and tourism service vehicles. Council will then have a closed executive session to discuss litigation, personnel, and real estate items. At 2:00 p.m., we will kick off 2025 with a 31-item agenda in our regular meeting. We will start by adopting renewal of a resolution pledging to practice and promote civility in the city of Savannah. We have tried for now a couple of years to get 100% of our council members to pledge to be civil. We didn't get it last year. We didn't get the year before, but I'm a person of faith and persistence, and we're going to keep trying until everybody agrees to play nicely together and be civil. I think our residents expect that from us. Civility has to start with us. And so we'll get it passed, but I want to get it passed 100%. Next, we will have 3 presentations, including an appearance from the Savannah Martin Luther King Jr. Observance Day Association, an appearance from the Savannah Interagency Diversity Council to announce the 10-year anniversary of Traffic Jam, and a recognition of the inaugural New Directors Academy and the 3rd City Managers Emerging Leaders Academy participants. Council will then hear 3 alcohol license hearings, including approval of a Class C license for a restaurant at 606 Abercorn Street, a Class C license for the Savannah Culinary Institute, and a Class G license for a retail store on Broughton Street. We have 3 zoning hearings on this week's agenda for 2 properties. First, we will have before us a petition for a change to the future land use map for 76 Highlands Boulevard, which we will also hear first readings of the ordinance. This is a planned development along the Jimmy DeLoach Parkway that will add food, retail, warehouse, and mixed-use commercial residential with a range of housing. Secondly, we will hear a petition for the Henry Street Bistro to allow accessory alcohol sales. Council will have the second of 4 ordinances related to 2 petitions. We will take up a petition for a zoning amendment and a future land use map amendment for 1015 Whitaker Street ahead of a proposed commercial building with underground parking garage. The city is working with the developer on this project. If passed, the city will own and operate the parking garage as proposed. We will also hear the second reading of 2 petitions to annex 667 acres on Bush Road at Little Neck Road and rezone the acreage to planned development. Council will hear 8 purchasing items for several new contracts and equipment, including upgrading old lighting with new LED energy-efficient fixtures in city-owned facilities, protective equipment for our firefighters, installation of new camera installation system for Savannah Police, and an amendment to the construction contract for the renovation of police headquarters. Under agreements, we will consider 3 new water and sewer agreements for New Hampstead, Savannah Highlands, and Brookline subdivisions. To find the full agenda for Thursday's meeting, visit savannahga.gov, savannahga.gov, and you can watch the meetings live on the city's official Facebook page or official YouTube channel. You can also watch it on my Facebook page and well, it's not on Instagram, but it's on my Facebook page, Mayor Johnson SAV. And the meeting will also be live streamed at savannahga.gov. Again, as a reminder, our TV station is down. I hope one of y'all didn't try to sabotage our TV station because we were so hot and our ratings were so good. I hope one of our media partners didn't say we have to do something about this great station that's award-winning. I hope we're going to have an investigation, and if that's happened, somebody's going to be in trouble. So I'm just looking at all of you in your faces. But SGTV will be back on the air soon, okay? But you can, of course, join us in person at the council's temporary home at the Board of Education's meeting room located at the Whitney Administrative Complex at 2 Laura Street. As a reminder, the meeting begins at 2:00 p.m. And lastly, I'm happy to announce that for the 4th consecutive year, I've been named as one of Georgia Trend's 2025 100 Most Influential Georgians. And being recognized again is humbling, but the reality is I'm influential because I represent the influential city in Georgia. And so I don't take that lightly. When you call my name, you have to call the city of Savannah's. And so my goal, my role is to continue to elevate Savannah not only in the state conversation, but in the national and international meeting and talking space. And so I hope that this honor reflects the collective interests and efforts of our council, of our staff, our community partners, and the resilient citizens of the greatest city on earth that make our city so special and so extraordinary. And as also was announced, I was also elected as the 2nd Vice President for the National League of Cities, which is a huge and incredible milestone. The National League of Cities is the oldest and largest national organization representing cities, towns, and villages. We advocate on behalf of more than 19,000 cities, villages, and towns. As 2nd Vice President, I will now be in line to become president of the National League of Cities in 2027. Will be the 2nd person from Savannah to serve as president in its 100-year history. John Rosikis did it in 1979. And out of the 100 presidents, there's only been, will be the 4th from Georgia. So a great opportunity for Georgia, a better opportunity for Savannah. Again, wherever I am, I'm Savannah Strong. So I am the city's loudest cheerleader, both on the state and national level, and now on the global arena as well. And so it's been a highlight of my professional life, particularly in a career that's had a lot of highlights. It's all about our city, and it's all about making sure that we are in the conversation. So thank you, Savannah. So that ends my prepared remarks. If you're joining us on social media and you have questions, please add them to the comments on our live stream at Facebook and Instagram, and we'll get those questions answered from you. I also want to say it was interesting to know just in the new year that Hanukkah and Christmas fell on the same day. That only happens like 5 times a century. That Hanukkah and Christmas fall on the same day. So I just, as a history buff, I found that very interesting, that both our Christian and our Jewish friends were in the midst of celebrating not only the birth of Christ, but the Festival of Lights at the same time. So just a quick history fact that I found very interesting. We'll start with questions over here.
The only one that I had right now is, you talked a little about the warming centers and how they'll kind of wait until the National Weather Service issues a winter advisory. That tends to be around like 20 degrees, is that right?
Yes.
Freezing is at 32, and this impacts or it might not be working right now. Anything you'd like to say to the people in the community as far as, they do have those resources with the homeless authority, but why is it that it's 20 degrees and not 32 or any other number that y'all would see fit?
Well, the number is basically very arbitrary. We have community partners that provide those services. The number I mentioned was for city warming centers, and that's understanding that after a sustained period of time, then the local resources, Salvation Army, and those who provide those anyway might become overwhelmed. So we become now a bigger opportunity for that. So we're not primary in this. I think we're probably much more of the pack up. We know that 32 for us can change very quickly to 50. So when we get to 20, we recognize we're pretty much at a pretty cold spell. It'll take a while to get back up. So we continue to evaluate it. We use national guidance as well to help us kind of figure out where it is. The good news for Savannah is that even when we're cold, we don't stay cold very long. Again, I was in New York yesterday. It was 30 degrees. Wind chill was 18. And for us, that was where it just stayed. And then the wind just kind of made it atrocious. So, thank you. Hello.
In light of what happened in New Orleans on New Year's Day, early in the morning, has that changed the approach of planning for big events that we host here as well, especially the MLK Day parade that's coming up soon?
No. We continually look at addressing those issues. Again, for us, we are a city of festivals as well. Similar to New Orleans, not as big. So we're always looking and planning in an emergency management and law enforcement, public safety space for these types of things. We've had the opportunity to be on a call with the director of the FBI and folks from New Orleans. Obviously, there are takeaways from each different incident. For me, it has to be a balance between public safety and freedom. Sometimes you can create a situation where it's not even worth coming. I had the opportunity to be in New York for the New Year celebration and, watched really the perimeters that were created during that time to make sure that people stay safe there. For us, it's a continuous thing. We saw what happened. We looked at that. We saw what happened in New Orleans. We make adjustments. I don't think we talk about tactical things as it relates to the things that we do, but fortunately, as an accredited agency, our police department, we have the best in the business, we think, here locally. We remain plugged into our partners and understand some of these things that are going on and do our best to make sure that if there are new practices, if there are new procedures, we take advantage of them. I will say this, if someone is determined to cause harm and they're willing to lose their life in order to do it, there's very little much people could do about that. And I know that a lot of criticism might have been thrown in New Orleans, but it was clear that individual was ready to die. And that part is unfortunate. So for us, as a city that continues to host large events and do a great job, we don't take that for granted. We have to continue to train, continue to look at best practices, continue to remain engaged, continue to seek advisories from our state and national neighbors as it relates to that. So they say we prepare for pray for the best and prepare for the worst.
And then any other comments leading up to that, the preparation going into the MLK Day parade, anything the city's doing that's different this year?
No, I think, again, our public safety plans are living documents, and so it depends on the year. For us, it depends on the situations that are happening, not only locally, but on a state and national level. The interesting thing about our city is that our public function spaces are also where people live, work, and play, and that has to be kept in consideration as well. The interesting thing about terrorism is that terrorism is meant to intimidate. And so if you create a situation where people cannot enjoy themselves, then the terrorists have won. we have to make sure that we keep people safe. We have to make sure people feel safe where they are. And I don't think that we've ever had an issue where people did not feel safe here. So we'll continue to look at that. We have those federal partners here on the ground with us, and we'll continue to evaluate it. But as of right now, I'm still very confident in our ability to handle those eventualities. Again, we'll learn if there are things that we can learn from or take from. We'll take those. We'll add those to our arsenal. But right now, we're okay.
Just to bounce off of that, the incident in New Orleans kind of, I guess, reignited the ongoing debate about what's your River Street and vehicular traffic, whether to shut it down to cars totally, just leave it to deliveries only. Are there conversations like that happening at City Hall and Jay Melder's office? And what say you on the whole issue? Where do you come from?
I don't know what's happening in Jay Melder's office. I can tell you what's happening in the mayor's office. For us, River Street has been a huge discussion point for many reasons. It serves for a variety of things. I think if you've ever driven down River Street, believe it or not, the cobblestones are probably the best public safety device that we have there. You cannot get very fast on those cobblestones. But we are presently looking at ways to redesign River Street totally. Many of you know from the hotel motel tax, there will be an entire redo of River Street, the Recycles Plaza in that part. So I expect that there'll be some environmental design features that will come with that. That will take into consideration the new world order that was not in place in 1970. That will allow us some flexibility to be able to redesign and change up that space as we need to. And there's been some discussion about River Street and the vehicle traffic going up and down for cars cruising. And when I was in college, that was the space to go. Just go real slow, put the music real loud, and see who comes out to see you. But for us, I think that there'll be some discussion about that. We haven't talked about it specifically, but I think ultimately, there might be better opportunities to utilize River Street for pedestrian traffic and not necessarily vehicular traffic. It goes one way, so it creates some issues there. So we just have to find a balance and make sure that we're allowing businesses to be serviced in the way they need to be serviced, but also allowing people to enjoy that space.
And finally, last year the city put out a survey about the To-Go Cup zone expansion. What's the status of all of that?
I think it's still where it is. Council has kind of debated the issue. I'm not sure. It's not before us yet. I think there were some, and I'm not sure we really have a fair sense of council about where that To-Go Cup expansion is. I think there are some concerns, obviously, about what that means. There's already an unofficial To-Go Cup extension that extends a few blocks from the end of the To-Go Cup zone, and then does that go further? Does it go into residential neighborhoods? How does that affect residential neighborhoods? So I think we'll continue to look at that and make sure that we are doing something that balances not only people's ability to enjoy it, but also the residents' ability to enjoy their space. Okay. Anything? Okay. All right. Well, we have a very busy week. A couple of weeks. This is kind of the first week in the full swing of things, and so we're excited for the new year. We're excited for the promises and the work that's going to be done. The city continues to work on our strategic plan. We continue to move forward on some of our strategic priorities, and so we appreciate you. We look forward to a great new year, and as always, be Savannah strong. Thank you.